Imagine a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier slicing through the Indian Ocean, its transponders off, and the world watching, wondering if war is imminent. This is the USS Abraham Lincoln, a Nimitz-class warship, currently headed toward the Middle East and potentially Iran. As of January 20th, 2026, it's past the Strait of Malacca, expected to reach the CENTCOM area of responsibility by January 23 to 25. Alongside it, destroyers like the USS Spruance and USS Michael Murphy, and a carrier air wing with nearly 90 aircraft, including FA-18 Super Hornets, ready for action or deterrence. This move doesn't happen in a vacuum. The USS Lincoln replaces the USS Nimitz, which just finished its deployment, and comes as tensions with Iran have been escalating after widespread protests and a government crackdown that has left hundreds dead, with some estimates as high as 2,600. In real time, social media users have tracked the Lincoln's progress, watching a massive warship move across the globe, almost like a live strategic simulation. But the Lincoln is just the tip of the iceberg. Other carrier strike groups, guided missile cruisers, destroyers, and submarines are also heading to the Persian Gulf. Air assets from F-15s in Jordan to AC-130J gunships and MQ-4C drones are deploying, ready for reconnaissance or possible strikes. And this isn't just about naval or air power. Special operations forces, including Delta Force and the Night Stalkers, have moved into Iraq, potentially for targeted missions. Even defensive systems like Patriot batteries are being redeployed, preparing for Iranian retaliation. Since early January, over 160 air movements have been observed, and evacuations from bases suggest the U.S. is bracing for escalation. President Trump has been briefed multiple times on options ranging from targeted strikes on Iranian nuclear and military facilities to cyberattacks and sanctions, all designed to respond to the crackdown while minimizing civilian casualties. Israel, while publicly cautious, leans toward regime change, preparing defenses against as many as 700 ballistic missiles and hoping the regime collapses internally rather than through direct conflict. The protests in Iran, driven by economic collapse and government brutality, have provided a humanitarian framework for U.S. strategic options, with military movements framed as support for the protesters, rather than purely strategic or political action. Yet diplomacy remains a priority. No strikes have been confirmed. This surge of assets may be more about leverage than immediate action, and the risk of a wider war still hangs heavy over the region. The situation is still fluid, and the world watches as the USS Abraham Lincoln and U.S. military forces move closer to Iran, amid protests, tensions, and the possibility of historic change.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.